All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now that the dust has settled from Major League Baseball's trade deadline, the Chicago Cubs look totally different. Javi Baez is a New York Met, Anthony Rizzo, a New York Yankee, and Chris Bryant, a San Francisco Giant, to go along with relief pitcher Craig Kimbrell, who is now a member of the Chicago White Sox. Now, of course, Baez, Rizzo, and Bryant were all part of the Cubs' young core that won it all in 2016. But unfortunately, it was never able to come together once again for the Cubs after that magical run. And now it is time for this organization to start over. Now, Bryant, Baez, Rizzo, and Kimbrell are all free agents at the end of this season. And as the Cubs weren't going to be able to re-sign them all, you might as well get some prospects if you were Chicago and begin the process of rebuilding, which they're doing. Now, the Cubs only have $42 million worth of salary committed to next season. And if they were somehow able to find a way to trade the light-hitting Jason Hayward, which I doubt, that number would increase even more. So the onus for the Cubs now is on the guy who is running their front office, and that's Jed Hoyer. Now, once upon a time, Hoyer was Theo Epstein's right-hand man with the Cubs, and now he is calling the shots. And the biggest question is going to be on Hoyer's watch right now. Will this Cubs team be able to turn it around sooner rather than later? Now, this season, Chicago is 51-56, and they are on pace for their first losing season since 2014. So it's all about getting those pieces together and building for the future. So how do you do that? First and foremost, if you're the Cubs, you already have a head start on next season because you've thrown in the towel for this season. So now you're going to sit back and look at what you have on your roster this season. Can these guys compete effectively at a major league level? And will they be able to go forward, or will you be able to go forward with them in 2022 if you are the Cubs? So obviously spring training has started a little bit early for the Cubbies right now. So they get an opportunity to see what they have. And, you know, that's the beauty of baseball right now in this current era. If you play it right, there is no such thing as a long-term rebuild because it's all about winning your division. So obviously the Cubs are going to see what they can do to get ahead of the likes of St. Louis and Milwaukee and Cincinnati in that division in order to win the NL Central, because you know just winning your division, anything can happen if you get to the postseason. So Jed Hoyer, fairly or unfairly, is going to be compared to his predecessor, and that is, of course, Theo Epstein. Theo Epstein turned things around for the Chicago franchise, just like he did once upon a time with the Boston Red Sox. And now that Epstein was able to build the Cubs into a winner, Hoyer has to try to find a way to do the same thing. So this is the most important offseason coming up of Jed Hoyer's young career, or should I say young tenure, in regards to running this Cubs front office. They've trimmed some salary. There's always a possibility that you could re-sign one or two of these guys in the offseason that you just traded, and you still keep the prospects. Of course, we'll have to wait and see. But nonetheless, it's going to be important to see how he spends those dollars. I do expect the Cubs to be players in the free agent market next season. Maybe not big-time players, but players nonetheless, as they look to fill out this roster and compete in the National League Central. But a credit to them for staying ahead of the curve. They knew that they weren't going anywhere with this team this year. And on top of that, you know what? You gave yourself an opportunity to get something back for some guys that you were probably going to lose in free agency anyway. So the 2022 MLB season has started a little bit early for the Chicago Cubs. They're in the self-evaluation stage, and let's see if they can use this time to propel themselves to even bigger things for next season. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take the time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out, drop a line, and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.